True reliability in a used car means one thing: keeping it on the road. It means local mechanics can diagnose the problem, grab a standard part, and fix it the same day. When you rely on unusual, rare components, you trap yourself in the workshop, stranded and waiting weeks for overseas shipping or distant specialists. Sticking to a conventional suspension and a common engine directly solves this. It guarantees broad aftermarket support and a massive supply of cheap parts. For students, small businesses, and Australians living in regional areas who cannot afford to keep a second backup vehicle, that immediate local serviceability prevents a minor breakdown from becoming a financial crisis. The trade-off is simple. You secure that peace of mind by intentionally sacrificing high-tech, multi-gear transmissions and exciting performance variants. But we have to clarify something right now. The phrase easy to service does not mean maintenance-free. In fact, cheap, common cars are frequently the most neglected. Owners falsely assume that because the car is known for being reliable, repairs will always cost nothing, so they skip the servicing. You only achieve true low-cost ownership by targeting a specific standard model variant and putting it through a rigorous pre-purchase inspection to catch that inherited neglect. The 2008 to 2017 Mitsubishi CJ Lancer survived as a ubiquitous fleet vehicle for almost a decade, but you must buy the mainstream version with the 2.0-liter naturally aspirated 4B11 engine. Looking at this inspection scorecard graphic, the divide is obvious. The 2.0-liter engine is safe, but avoid the Ralliart and Evolution variants with their dual-clutch transmissions. If you choose the CVT, you must verify a strict history of Mitsubishi-specified fluid changes. When you inspect the car, start the engine cold. Listen closely for timing chain rattle, check for unexplained coolant loss, and feel for heavy vibration caused by worn engine mounts. Underneath, aging Lancers have a clear pattern of wear. Look for degraded suspension bushes, noisy struts, and evidence of poor wheel alignment. Check the exterior for peeling clear coat, make sure the air conditioning blows freezing cold, and pull a PPSR report. Because these are common first cars, they are frequently involved in accidents and written off. The Lancer offers incredibly cheap engine parts, but a shuddering or flaring CVT will completely wipe out those savings. Transmission health is the single defining factor of this purchase. Next is the Hyundai RB Accent. This scorecard maps the 1.6-liter engine to a high urban agility score, making it the optimal choice. By avoiding turbochargers, you get a straightforward mechanical layout. Independent workshops are already intimately familiar with these exact Hyundai service procedures. It excels in tight urban environments. The direct trade-off is that the Accent lacks acoustic insulation, making it significantly less comfortable on long, coarse-chip highways. On a cold start with the 1.6-liter, listen for valve train ticking. If you notice an uneven, rough idle, it is often a symptom of worn mounts transferring engine vibration into the cabin. You have to be hyper-vigilant about the car's past life. Ex-rental and driving school fleets look tempting with low odometers, but that stop-and-go urban abuse severely accelerates wear on the clutch, suspension, and interior plastics. For routine checks, test early automatic models for delayed engagement into gear, inspect the rear dampers for leaks, and test all the door handles and seat mechanisms for heavy wear. To actually secure this car's cheap running costs, you have to reject the cheapest ex-fleet options. Look for privately maintained examples with impeccable on-time oil change histories. For more refinement, look at the 2012 to 2016 Honda Civic. This graphic shows the clear difference. You want the Australian market FB sedan body style, excluding the European hatch silhouette. The FB sedan uses a 1.8-liter engine family, avoiding diesel equipment, turbochargers, and direct injection complexity. The conventional 5-state automatic is reliable and simple for specialists to service. The trade-off is that genuine Honda replacement parts will cost slightly more than equivalent Toyota or Hyundai components. During a cold start, listen for irregular valve noise. Verify the previous owner used Honda-specific automatic transmission fluid, and check the boot and spare wheel well for water entry. You must avoid modified examples. Walk away from anything with extreme suspension lowering, heavy replica wheels, or loud aftermarket exhaust systems. Cheap cosmetic changes and messy, taped-up audio wiring turn a mechanically simple Civic into a massive electrical diagnostic problem for your mechanic. The FB Civic provides superior highway refinement and space compared to smaller hatchbacks, but only if you have the patience to hunt down a strictly unmodified standard family car. The 2011 to 2020 Toyota Yaris XP130 was designed entirely around ownership simplicity. You want the 1.5-liter engine over the 1.3-liter for better performance with passengers and air conditioning. This diagram shows a specific transmission trade-off. Highway fuel economy sits low because the 4-speed automatic feels busy at speed, but transmission lifespan stays incredibly high because it avoids CVT complexity entirely. The Yaris offers unmatched regional parts support. It is the default indestructible workshop courtesy car because mechanics know it tolerates constant abuse from different drivers. But that reputation creates a massive hidden risk. Owners frequently neglect basic servicing because they assume the Toyota badge makes the engine immune to actual mechanical damage. Your mandatory checks: inspect the water pump for pink coolant leaks, verify the automatic engages drive and reverse immediately without engine flare, and test the air conditioning strength. Inspect the rear floor beneath the boot for hidden accident damage, and check the wheels. Look for quality rubber rather than cheap, mismatched replacement tires. Buying a Yaris based solely on a low odometer reading is a trap. True reliability here requires hard proof of continuous, itemized maintenance to counteract the assumption of invincibility. The 2009 to 2013 Mazda3 takes the top spot. This scorecard shows it maximizing metrics for highway comfort and nationwide support. The 2.0-liter naturally aspirated engine is the absolute ownership sweet spot. You must strictly exclude the 2.5-liter SP25 and turbocharged MPS variants. These cars are aging, so cold start checks are vital. Listen for timing chain rattle, check for dark oil weeping down the block, and feel for worn engine mounts vibrating straight through the steering wheel. You also need a specific suspension check. Focus on the sway bar links shifting loosely under pressure, control arm bushes, and inspect the tires for uneven wear caused by failing suspension geometry. There are cosmetic trade-offs. Expect rapid wear on the interior seat bolsters and dashboard surfaces, alongside severely clouded, yellowing plastic headlights. Because the BL Mazda3 is heavily popular with young drivers, be extremely cautious. Reject heavily modified cars with dark aftermarket taillights, lowered springs, or improvised wiring. The Mazda3 perfectly balances ordinary, accessible mechanical design with mature, stable road behavior. It is the smartest buy for pragmatic drivers demanding immediate local serviceability. The golden rule of the used car market is simple. Choosing a common engine and transmission guarantees your local workshop actually possesses the knowledge to fix it quickly. When you buy, do not spend your entire budget on the purchase price. Hold back funds specifically to execute a major baseline service the first week you own it. By immediately draining and replacing all overdue fluids and filters, you ensure that every future maintenance schedule begins from a known, zero-risk starting point. Remember, cheap engine parts do not make a blown transmission inexpensive to rebuild. When reviewing a car's history, demand to see itemized invoices, not just ink stamps in a service book. Test drive the car until it is completely up to operating temperature. Inspect the battery and cooling system, hunt for messy aftermarket wiring, and always run a PPSR background check before handing over any cash. The easiest car to own is usually the common, standard version that local workshops already understand, not the rare trim that looked more exciting in the advertisement.